planner/journal breakup edition. Welcome to the B-side, where we do things differently. So we could have done any planner, any journal, and just write on it. But we're gonna twist it a little bit because we go on the B-side. Get ready, grab a planner, or just listen for now. Just let's hang out for a second, and I show you how I set up a journal, a planner mainly, to then maybe answer question that becomes journaling. But this time we're going to do it breakup edition, meaning that if you're going through a breakup, I hope that this helps you to set up your day to go in the way that you want, and not in the way that your pain that you're going through wants you to do. The situation doesn't need to dictate your plans or what you set up for yourself. There are gonna be some bad feelings, but we're gonna move past those. So if you already have some affirmation or some technique to calm yourself, like putting your hand on your heart and say, I'm good, I'm safe, I am exactly where I want to be, and all those type of affirmation, if they work for you, do that first thing when you wake up, because you might have some anxiety. But if the thought of the relationship comes straight to you, get your coffee or beverage if you want to do that first, and then go through a couple of questions. I wrote down the few that are like probably recurring, because then we change them a little bit, but there are some questions that you need to repeat a lot to remember, to put things in perspective, and to remember or to assess the fact that probably the relationship was meant to finish anyway, based on what you observe now that is over. So first question that we write down is, lately, what did this person contribute in your life? Could be financially, emotionally, intellectually, in any way. Think about the last period of time. What was the contribution of this person in your life? So I only write down one word so we make it faster, but I want you to write it as a question. What was the contribution that this person brought to your life in the last couple of months? So contribution. And I use, where did I put my highlighters? Let me grab one random. Green. Contribution. Remember then to use the same colors for the questions that are about him and the questions that are about yourself. So you're gonna, boom, recognize those right away. What's the contribution that he brought in your life? Because you might look back and realize that there wasn't much, maybe. Or maybe there were, but there was something going on. In this case, it's good to focus on the negative. It's not a practice to try to diminish or devalue the person, but it's to shed a light on what was actually not working in the relationship. There's a reason why you're not together anymore. It might be their decision and it might be out of the blue, but probably if you look, you will find some little roadblocks now and then, some little hiccups that might help you understand, that might have been a problem anyway. So what's the contribution that the person brought to your life in the last few months? Not at the beginning, because that's easy. Lately, okay? And answer, take your time to answer. Write it down on the side here. You can write down the answer. Can be long, can be short. Keep going as much as you want, okay? As much as you want. And then you're gonna reread it again whenever you want. These are notes for you. Second question. I prepare here. What is a non so pleasant memory that come up in your mind if I ask you to pull a memory, an episode, something that happened between you guys or about him especially, that was not great? What you might remember the bad moment, but you may remember the good moment, but also the bad moment, right? So right now it's useful for us to remember the bad moment, because we want to understand what went wrong and what possibly gonna go wrong anyways. So what's a memory? And I'm gonna put bad memory, but I want you to write it as a question. Bad memory. The first bad memory that come to mind in all the course of all your relationship. Maybe something that at the time you didn't pay so much attention, because we are forgiving and forgetful when we love someone or we're in a relationship. But then now on the distance and at the light of the recent events, you might see things a little bit differently. So Not that you have to see everything like as a red flag, but just an element that would tell you, that might have been a problem anyways. Okay, so this, I give you a third question just as a bonus. If you think that you need an extra enforcement in that, let's add a third question. But usually if you answer those two questions, is enough to put things in a little bit of perspective at least. But let's add a third question. What's the main feeling that you recall having in the last couple of months, 3 months, or even in the last couple of weeks of the relationship? What's the main feeling that come up when you think about those? Did you feel relaxed, normal, or maybe did you feel anxious? Did you feel overwhelmed? Did you feel suspicious? Did you feel just good, but with a feeling that something was wrong, but you didn't know what? Did you have arguments, so you felt uneasy? Anything. It could be also good feeling, but now you're gonna analyze the feeling and says, okay, I felt good. Why? I give you an example. I had a person that I dated that made me feel very good until I found out that he was, let's say, using substances. So his good feeling that was given to me was artificial. So at that light, when I had to come to this realization, everything well, like took a different turn for me. Okay, that was artificial. It was making himself happy artificially. So no wonder that it was making me feel good, but he naturally was not like that. So it was not going to make me feel like that. I'm not saying that this is the case. I'm just giving a personal example, just so you know, even the moment that maybe were good, try to see them in a different light right now. So feelings lately. Sensation, really, the main feeling, the dominant feeling that you can think about. Feelings lately. What's the feeling that you had lately? Always write it as a question, because your brain is designed to give you an answer. So you will answer. And journal, meditate about it, journal about it, do whatever feels natural to you. I enjoy writing down, and then because then I have a note that is for myself. I can go through that and rediscover myself. Is a self-help that is best. Find it very useful. Also, it can be useful for someone else. This is, I was going to say that at the end, but I'm going to anticipate it now. Everything that you write might be a roadmap for someone else in the future that you might want to help get over a difficult situation. So keep that in mind. So all you need is a journal, or better, a planner, a notebook. Even if it's plain like this, even better. Maybe some color. I like to use some highlighter just to make it pretty, to make it look in a way that my attention goes exactly where I want it to go. A pen, because writing things down has this double effect on your brain to memorize things 2 or 3 times faster. Old school here. If you prefer to take note on your phone and then go through that, up to you, but I highly recommend that you write down. So what we're going to do, write the day. Let's say that you want to plan it for tomorrow, or let's say the day after tomorrow. I don't even know what day is today, and it doesn't matter, because this exercise needs to be timeless. Okay, so let's say that tomorrow, 2 days from now, let's say that is a Friday, you want to reset, you want to do your own thing, and then start fresh on a Monday, or any days that you want, with a good structure to your day, which is what you need right now. Because when you go through a breakup, what you might miss is the everyday life that you were sharing with this person, whether or not you guys were living together, but there was a presence, and now there's not. So a lot of habits are going to change, are going to look different, and you might feel lost, like there's a void, or that there are moments that are not filled with conversation, text messages, or physical contact. All of that structure, routine is going to be your best friend right now. So I want you to divide morning and night. I like to do it like that instead of doing vertical, we go horizontal. So this is very rudimental, okay? Because then I want you to embellish it the way that you like better. So this is morning, and this is night. We're gonna do the things that are about the relationship and about the person briefly in the morning, and you can repeat those during the day if you feel lost. We're gonna do at night instead things that are about you, your plans, your desires, your expectation, your goals, your projects, because you don't want to fall asleep thinking about what was. You don't want to dream about what was. You want to fall asleep with the things that are about you, not about them, not about the relationship. But when you wake up in the morning, I know that it might be a difficult moment where the memories like get you, like overwhelm you. So it's very important to put things back in perspective. We always put the person on a pedestal and we tend to overlook everything that actually was not a match with us. But now that you are apart, you can totally play with those differences to put back this person in their place, which is away from you. So let's start with what we're gonna do in the morning when you wake up. So when you wake up, the questions and the intentions are going to be just about yourself, about you, about personal goal, personal life. So one question I already wrote it down, and I use this color to make it different. I want you to write it down as a question always, so you stimulate your brain to give you an answer. So what is one goal that you can work at tomorrow? This is a nighttime, okay? So you set yourself to do something, then you're gonna follow through, and that is gonna increase your confidence and your self-worth because you show up for yourself, you proved it, and you're gonna start to trust yourself, value yourself, validate yourself because you follow through on something that you impose to yourself. That's the best way to build yourself up. So one goal that you can work out tomorrow. Maybe you have a big goal. Can you fragment it in little segments? Is there a segment that you can work at tomorrow in your free time, in during a break, or before you start to work, whatever your day looks like? Can you work at that at least 3 minutes, 5 minutes? Can you move the needle a little bit in your goal tomorrow? Can be a fitness goal, a financial goal, home decor, anything. It can be anything. Even be more organized. I want to organize one corner. We're going to go through that in action that you can possibly do that are related to your all. I don't like to call it transformation, transition to your next phase of your life. So one goal for tomorrow. What's one goal that I can work at tomorrow? Not relationship related, no love related, not romantic love. It can be love, but not love for a romantic partner. Not for now, okay? Second question that you can ask yourself for tomorrow. What's the vibe that I want to have tomorrow? So vibe of the day. And word of the day, and word. What's one word that I want to, the keyword of the day, the operative word, like whatever, and word. So the vibe that you want to have the next day, if you could choose any vibe, if you were like a robot, like a machine, and you can click a button and choose the vibe of the day, what would that be, and what the word that would it be? Tomorrow can be beauty, it can be discovery, it can be joy, it can be reflection, it can be learning. Whatever word come to mind is going to set the vibe for tomorrow. That at night. Journal, write it down, meditate. If possible, fall asleep on that idea. That's a very powerful thing to do. I insert a bonus question if you want to feel super motivated. Let's make one last question that is going to be for you for tomorrow. What is one thing that you can do tomorrow for someone else? That's a recurring question because it would be good to insert something that is going to benefit someone else. It does many different effects on your brain and your whole persona, so it's a very good thing to do, and it has to be something really small. It doesn't have to be big, because if it's big, then you're not going to repeat it. You do it once, you do it twice, and then you get exhausted. You get fatigue of overgiving. We're not here to be people pleaser or to overgive. We're just here to do a little action that might help someone. It might look something different. Maybe bring a piece of cake to a homeless person that you see in your area. Maybe go visit a shelter. That's something that I would do. And ask if you can volunteer by getting a dog for a walk. something easy like that. This is already like something that is a kind of a commitment, but it can be something simple like help your neighbor with the with the getting the trash outside, or ask someone, what can I do for you? Is there something that I can do for you? Or call a friend that you haven't spoke with in a while because maybe you want to check on them, and just tell them, I just want to see how you're doing. I just want to see if you're okay. I just needed to talk to you for a second to see if you're okay. Checking on you. It can be something different. Do one thing that another person would appreciate. It also can be something that inspires someone else. Like you see a piece of plastic on the ground, you grab it and you throw it in the recycle. Somebody might look at that and say, ooh, that's so cool. And I feel bad that I throw away plastic like this. And maybe somebody might imitate the good thing that you do. It can be for the environment. That's actually really great. We can go through that in another moment of all the different things that you can do. But what's one thing that is for someone else? Like the entire journal that you're doing right now can be for someone else. Thing for others. And again, we put it in orange. I picked the orange as a personal happy color of the happy thing. It's the first that came up, but it's okay. Orange is there's no coincidence that the certain meditation, setting have a lot of orange in there. There are those monks that dress in orange. It's a good color. Now, if you want to add some task for the day, I would add tasks that are related to your goals, that are related to organization of your space, and that are related to your appearance and your health and your well-being. So we go through an infinite space, but I'm going to give you just two very quickly. I'm probably not write it down, up to you how you wanna handle that. But write one thing that you're going to do for your physical well-being. One action could be, I'm going to do a brief walk. I'm going to focus on drinking more water. I'm going to do insert some whole food in my grocery, some fruit and vegetables. Maybe, if you usually don't do it, it's a good idea to start to incorporate those. So something for your well-being. Could be anything. Could be even listen to some relaxing music. I like the singing bowls. So if you want to pull on YouTube a video of the singing bowls and just sit and absorb the good vibration, I'm all about it. Good. And another thing that you can write down is, what am I gonna do, for example, for I want to check my financial situation. What can I do to start to think of improving my financial situation? Just because it's it gives you a good sense of accomplishment, and it's like a very tangible thing that you're doing for yourself. Even if you just check your bank account, check your finances, and assess. You don't need to make any decision, but assess and see what you would like to do, how much you need for the future. Are you okay with that? Just assess. You don't need to have big plans. For now, we are gonna close the B-side here. But if you like videos like that, if you like little ideas like that, let me know, because I come up with questions very easily. And we do things a little bit differently here. So if you have any suggestion of things that you want to turn around and do in a different way, what is happening today? I'll be more than willing to listen to you. This is the setup that I use when I go live. I go live a lot on TikTok. So if you want to follow along, you will find a spontaneous vibe and suggestions, advice, or little stimulation of the brain that come really from my heart for you. See you next time.